Please do not include me in any of your video.
Cops are coming here, man, so...
The cops are coming?
Yes, they are.
So you called the police?
Sure did.
On a couple of guys taking pictures?
Yeah.
How we doing, boss?
How's it going today?
All right. Same as yesterday.
So what's the purpose of the cameras?
To take pictures and video.
For what purpose?
For whatever purpose I choose. What do you mean?
I'm asking
What's your name
you
and badge number?
Right there. What's your name, sir?
None of your business.
Really?
Yeah, really. How's it going, guys? Amagansett Press, and we are coming to you today from Fort Kent, Maine. We are at the downtown area, the business district here in Fort Kent, and we're just going to give you a little tour of the neighborhood and check the folks out here and find out if they honor and respect our right to take video and photographs in public and from publicly accessible areas of public places. I am out with Watching the Watchman today. And let me just give you a little view of the neighborhood here where we are. And while I'm doing that, time and temperature check. Today is Monday, August 15th, 2022. It is 3:59 in the afternoon, and it is 81 degrees and overcast in Fort Kent, Maine. Hope you all are out there doing something you love with some folks you can tolerate. And if there's no sunshine where you are, as usual, always invite you to make your own. Should be interesting here today. First time we've been in this neck of the woods. Canada is right over the border. Those hills that you can see across there are actually on the other side of the river, and that's Canada. I'm gonna have a little bonus footage for you later in the video, so stay tuned for that. Hey, making out there, Watchman.
What's up?
What's happening?
What's going on?
Fort Kent. Let's go check out the downtown district. See what's happening. So you got a Family Dollar store here. Tech Trends, Home Solutions. Pretty interesting mural here. It says University of Maine, Fort Kent. Possibly done by the students here. Oh, and it's on a business called Grown in Maine Full Bloom Cannabis. And you have a business next door in the same building called China Garden. China Garden's closed on Monday and Tuesday.
Mind if I ask what you guys are filming for?
Oh, I'm taking a video.
Alright, for what?
I can't really get into it right now while I'm doing it.
Please do not include me in any of your video.
Too late.
Not in front of the camera.
You guys are gonna have to get out of here.
Sorry?
You guys are gonna have to get out of here.
We're gonna have to get out of here?
This is a medical place where people don't want... And you can't even tell him what you guys are doing?
Why would I have to tell anybody what I'm doing?
You got cameras in our store.
I don't have cameras in your store. I'm outside on the sidewalk.
Dude, you'll have to go, man. Seriously.
I have to go?
Yes, please.
From the public sidewalk.
As far as I know, yeah.
Why, though?
Why are
Because...
you
What's the
filming?
reasoning by that? Why are you covering your face? That looks silly.
Oh, my God.
It does.
Well,
We're grown men. What are you doing covering your face? It's foolish. Anyway, I'll talk to
okay.
you.
Have a great day. You'll have to move.
Why do I have to move? I'm asking you what the reasoning is
Oh, my
behind
God.
that.
Because people don't
I'm sorry, I'm not Pavlov's dog. I'm going to ask a question if you give me an order.
Okay, then I'll just call the cops then.
Call the cops?
If you want me to, yeah, then you can deal with
I don't
them.
want you to call. Please don't call the cops. Why would I want you to call the cops?
First of all, you're not even telling me what you're doing.
Well, why would I have to? Go across the border, man. They're waiting for you.
Okay.
It's going to call the cops. All right, well, as you guys know, unfortunately, when the police are called, we have to stick around and wait for them, so guess we're going to be here for a minute, so stand by. I thought he just said, don't get me in your video. Now all of a sudden we can't be on the sidewalk filming anything. Silliest thing I ever heard. And yes, I've heard it 100 times, but it's still the silliest thing I've ever heard. can't be on the sidewalk taking pictures because this is a medical place. So does that mean if this was a doctor's office, I couldn't be out here either? And you guys have seen while we've been here, I have not stuck my camera in their window. Closest I got was I took some pictures of the logo that they have on the glass. But even if I was filming inside of the business, they're on the main drag here with, I would say probably 5 foot by 6 foot glass windows on a corner, wide open for people to be seeing from the sidewalk. And then you don't want anybody taking any pictures. Strange. I think if these places are so concerned about their quote-unquote patients' privacy, they should create some privacy. I know in Colorado, for example, it's actually illegal to be able to see through the windows of a cannabis dispensary. You have to have them completely blocked off. And they still have a fit when we're out there filming. I couldn't hear you, I'm sorry.
What are you guys filming?
What am I filming?
Yeah, I'm just wondering.
Oh, we're just making a video.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Nothing to do with are you with the store here?
No, I'm just wondering.
Oh, because I saw you going in. No, nothing to do with
I'm just very interested.
Cool.
Thank you.
You have an interesting town. You live here in Fort Kent?
Yeah, it's my parents' restaurant.
Oh, very cool place to live.
Yeah.
How is it in the winter, man? You must get a lot of snow.
Oh, it's pretty bad, to be honest with you.
Brutal, I guess.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
Well, keep having fun. Keep smiling, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Have
You
a
guys
good day.
open tomorrow?
We're open on Wednesday.
Yeah, we'll come check you out.
All right,
cool.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
day. All right.
Oh, so now you're a hypocrite. You're taking my picture.
I'm not doing that. First of all,
Don't you think that's a little hypocritical?
I'm not going to answer your questions. Cops
Okay.
are coming here, man, so...
The cops are coming?
Yes, they are.
So you called the police
Sure did.
on a couple of guys taking pictures.
Yeah, because you won't even tell me
You're
what you're
a
doing.
true American.
I'm not even going to...
Why would I have to tell you what I'm doing, man?
Have a good day.
See, you just want to make statements, but there's no reasoning. There's no reasoning behind you. Sovereign your ass. Go smoke your weed and relax, man. Get a grip. Yeah, you heard me. Fat boy. I can say that because I'm a little heavy too. Wash my mouth. So here's the Fort Kent Police Department. Ridiculous. We have a vehicle, I don't see a vehicle number, but it's 428-941.
Hey, Mo.
How we doing, boss?
How's it going today?
All right. Same as yesterday.
So what's up with the picture taking?
Oh, you tell me.
Well, I mean, there's been a lot of crimes in town lately and thefts and stuff, and to sit out in front of a cannabis shop and start taking pictures of the building, what's the purpose behind it?
You think if I'm planning to come rob this cannabis shop, which you're insinuating, I'm going to show up with all this equipment in the middle of broad daylight?
I'm just asking a simple question.
You know what? That's a foolish way to think. I'm not even going to entertain that question.
No?
No.
So what's the purpose of the cameras?
To take pictures and video.
For what purpose?
For whatever purpose I choose. What do you mean? That's a silly question. You just got out of your car without even speaking to me, without even introducing yourself.
We received a call on it already. You guys did the same thing at the post office last week.
Last week? I wasn't here last week.
Or Thursday or Friday or whatever it was.
I wasn't here Thursday or Friday.
So that's why I'm here to ask you a question.
So you're assuming two things. You're assuming I'm going to rob the cannabis store, and you're assuming that I was the guy at the post office last week.
I'm not saying that you're going to do anything. I'm asking you.
What's your name and badge number?
Right there.
I don't know how to pronounce that.
Well, the
You want me to
cameras
just
are
take a
running,
shot
right?
at it?
Go ahead.
How do you pronounce it?
Belanger.
Belanger. Okay, and what's your badge number?
405.
405. Now, do you want to start all over again and try to be professional?
I am being professional.
No, you're really not.
I'm asking you a question.
No, you're really not. You just walked up
So
and
what's your
accused me.
name? What's your name, sir?
None of your business.
Really?
Yeah, really. What do you mean? It's a foolish thing to say, my friend.
405 to Fort Kent.
I'm walking down the street, okay, visiting your town with my son, and we decide to walk down Main Street, downtown, and get some video of your town, and this is the reception that I get from the police department here? What is the issue with taking video?
You have 400 or 401 to assist me here?
Yeah, you better. What is that, supervisor? Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
said, all I did is come here to ask you guys a simple question.
All right, well, like
Both
I
of you.
said, you want to start all over again and be professional?
All right.
Maybe
So
not accuse me of
I'm not
committing a
accusing you
crime.
of anything.
Sure, you got out of your car and talked
I
about
asked you a
somebody
question. I
robbing
said,
the cannabis store.
You know, we've had thefts in town, so I've asked you a question. All right. So what's the purpose of the picture taking?
I'm traveling with my son, taking
Okay,
video.
See that's an honest answer, right?
But it's none of your business.
What?
Why would that be your business?
Because if something happens in town, we have records showing, hey, listen, there was somebody doing something over there. I'm not.
So
assuming
you
that
equate
guys-
somebody taking pictures with a possible crime?
We want to know.
You want to know? That's
simple as that. I'm not.
so.
saying
That's
you
all right.
guys.
So let's take it down a notch. Let's de-escalate here a second. Let's talk man to man. Okay.
All right.
So your concern is that I'm out here with this amount of equipment, standing here in broad daylight, taking photographs and video, and I'm planning a robbery.
I'm not assuming that you're planning a robbery. I'm not assuming nothing. I just asked you a question of what you're doing.
Well, I am not planning anything. There's nothing nefarious going on here.
Okay, good.
You haven't seen anything nefarious going on here. There's no hint of anything
I just asked
nefarious.
you guys what the
Right.
I mean, we don't see people out here with. You know, I don't know how much this equipment's worth, but you know, you don't see it every day. People out here just taking pictures of.
I'm gonna stand on this side just because the sun's blasting me in the eye here.
Yeah.
Not really comfortable, but so what does that mean? Anything unusual? I mean, you don't see people riding down the street on a unicycle in a pink tutu, but if you did, you're gonna stop them and ask them what they're doing?
No.
Right.
But you wouldn't assume anything of a person riding. I'm not being racist or biased or anything else in that for that manner.
Well,
I came here to ask you a simple question.
All right. So what I think, just to give you one man's opinion, I think what you should have done is you should have done a drive-by, evaluate with your own eyes what you see is going on, right? Then you come back, you speak to both parties, you do your investigation, you ask your questions, and you find out what's going
There was
on.
somebody standing in front of the cannabis place,
Right.
with cameras taking pictures.
Perfectly legal, constitutionally protected activity.
Not saying that it's not.
Okay.
So, but they were concerned that you guys had cameras outside. So
All
I
right, so
just came
let me
here.
ask you a fair question. Are you here to uphold my constitutional rights, or are you here to uphold their feelings?
I'm here.
What are you here
to
for?
make sure that nobody has their rights taken away from them, and that if something happens to be where the law is broken, that's where my job comes in.
Your job comes in when the law is broken, correct? Has there been any law broken so far?
Listen, I'll have you talk to my sergeant. He can address you better than.
Okay,
than
very
I
good.
am. I mean, you don't want to answer the question to me?
I'm having the conversation with you. Don't
Well, I
look,
was
don't look
too.
for issues.
No, all I'm saying is that, listen, I asked you a question, why the cameras were out, and you didn't give me an answer.
Because of the way you got out of your car. Respect is not given out for free, it's earned. So you want to earn somebody's respect, that's what you do. Right? How we doing, Sarge?
What's going on?
Just out on your sidewalk taking a little video and photographs, and evidently Officer Belanger, is that how you pronounce that?
Yep.
Has equated that with possibility that we might be up to something nefarious, planning a robbery of the cannabis store.
So basically what happened is a couple people had called. Someone called initially back when you guys were at the post office.
Okay.
And then they called, and then somebody else
And
called.
just to be clear, post office 15 minutes ago, not last week.
Well,
Yeah.
I didn't get the call. I knew it was you
So-
guys had been out there before.
So
Okay.
yeah, I guess basically it's not illegal to be recording.
Of course it's not.
So I guess we were just concerned because we didn't know why, and people are calling. So when people call, we kind of have to.
And you know
follow
what?
up.
The way, see, this is what I was trying to tell you, Officer Belanger.
Yep.
The sergeant here, there's a reason he's got those stripes on his arm.
Correct.
You got out of your car, okay?
Yep.
Being very respectful,
Yep.
asking the right questions,
Okay.
in the right tone,
Yep.
and we're having a cordial conversation,
Yeah, yeah.
which is a voluntary conversation. I don't even
Yeah.
need to be speaking to you.
No.
I can just tell you I don't have a word to say to you, go away, leave me alone.
Yeah, if
and that's
you
exactly what you would do.
Yeah.
But I'm not being that guy. I'm trying
No,
to have
and I appreciate
but
it.
This gentleman got out of the car. First words out of his mouth is, well, we don't know if you're planning to some kind of a robbery
First
here at the
words out of
cannabis store.
my mouth was, "What are you doing on the sidewalk with the camera?"
And I said to you, I'm taking video and pictures.
Yeah, and I
That's
asked
all you
for
need
what
to know.
For what purpose?
And I said that's none of your business.
That's exactly.
And that is none of his business, correct?
I mean, I'm curious too, but I'm not saying that you need to tell me.
Curiosity and your business are two different things. And you're being very professional, so I'm just,
Yeah,
coming
yeah.
down off of the conversation with him.
And that's fine.
But what I want you to understand is,
Yeah.
okay, and the same question I asked Officer Belanger,
Yeah.
okay, he has to decide whether he's here to protect my constitutional rights, which is what he swore to do,
Yeah.
swore an oath to do, or if he's here to protect people's feelings.
Right.
That's your question. So, and I get people's feelings.
Yeah, and I guess our concern is if we keep getting phone calls, we kind of have to follow up. We
Well,
can't
I don't
just say don't worry about it. We kind of have to go.
Well, another option, okay, and I'm not telling you how to do your job,
Yep, that's
but
fine.
another option is to drive by, observe with your own eyes what's going on, and if you don't see anything nefarious, you keep going.
Yeah,
in
so-
some cases, right? That happens.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. So, yeah, so I mean, like you said, you can drive by, but I was coming back from another call. Officer Belanger was already here, so I came directly here.
Okay.
But like I said, we got the call about the post office earlier, and I figured, well, okay, if they're just recording, they're just recording.
Right.
But as we keep getting calls, then we kind of
Well, I think the cannabis store probably told you a little bit more of a dramatic story.
They may have. I don't even know.
I'm
to be
gonna
honest.
do a public information request for the 911 call, so we'll see what they told you.
I don't even. Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't even know if it came in 911. I don't even know how.
Whatever
came
it
in.
was, we'll get the phone call. But,
Yeah. Okay.
part of my concern here also is not just upholding my right to take photographs and video.
Yep.
Part of my concern is people calling up the police department and sensationalizing something and having you come in hot or with some idea in your head that there's something going on that may not be, just because they got upset and they want to drama everything up and ramp it up, and then you get here expecting something that's not going on.
Yeah, and
so you didn't do that here today, but Officer Belanger might have been on that page a little bit.
So I mean,
all I was asking is the question as to what y'all were doing. I simply asked the question. But what's the reason for the cameras and the picture
No, you were
taking?
getting a little upset.
I was not.
Sure you were. Sure you were.
Well, I mean, if
Sure
that's
you
what you felt, then you felt that.
what's your first name, so I can be on a first name basis?
You know what? You are being respectful, so I'll
Yep.
give you my friend. And that's the only reason I'm giving it to you.
Yep, and
Otherwise,
I
I'd tell you to
and I
kick rocks.
appreciate it. Yep.
So my first name's Jason.
Jason. Okay.
Yep.
So Jason.
And you'll figure out who I am. I'm not hiding who I am.
Okay, and that's fine. So Jason, the only thing is, if a business is calling, just out of respect for a business, I guess.
Right.
If you would avoid videoing after, if they've called and they don't want you videotaping, I guess out of respect for the business and their right.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to answer that for you. And you just thought of the answer I'm going to give you. You know what I'm going to say.
Honest, you have the right to do so.
No, not only that. How much are they respecting my right to be out here taking video? And now you want me to respect their right to privacy when they're on Main Street with 5x6 glass windows?
And I get that.
Yep,
I completely get that.
I
Jason.
plan to hang out here and video a little longer
Okay.
after you guys leave.
Okay. And
Normally, I probably would have been gone already.
Okay.
But they decided to create a situation out of it, and here we are.
Okay. And that's fine.
You guys are allowed to videotape all you want. It's
Well,
not-
you've got a whole brand new attitude now at the sergeant's
No,
here.
like
Yeah,
I said,
you do.
I just came here to
And you'll
ask
see the
a
video,
question.
Sarge.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
Well, listen, my camera's running too.
Yeah, but your cameras, that video tends to disappear sometimes.
It's not
This
gonna
one
disappear.
doesn't.
So
I'm live streaming to the internet right now.
So that's fine, Jason. I got no issue with this. If you want to record, you have the right to record.
I know that.
Like I said,
And I appreciate you acknowledging that.
Yep.
And I would have also appreciate if you would uphold and defend my right to be out
Yeah,
here.
and like I said,
Not only do I want you to acknowledge the fact that I can do that,
Yep.
I want you to defend that right because that's an oath you took and you swore to do.
yeah. So like I said, I'm not telling you can't do it. And I'm not telling you have to leave. I'm not doing that.
No, what you should be telling me is you're going to go inside and educate these folks. And I think that you're in a very unique position, okay? Because I think a lot of the people in this country take what law enforcement as an authority figure says and values that very much. So if you go in there and tell him I'm breaking the law, he's going to be under the impression I'm breaking the law. If you go in there and tell him it's my right, they should leave me alone, I have a perfectly constitutional right, lawful right to be out here doing what I'm doing, they will accept that from you more than they'll accept it from me
Right.
because you're the authority.
And I will
right?
speak to them.
So you could also, by doing that and taking those steps each day, after a while, you might condition everybody to realize that there's nothing to be afraid of when somebody's taking pictures.
Yeah,
Because right now they're conditioned to go into fear mode.
Well, and I think that we're from a smaller area, so we are kind of not necessarily guarded, but we don't normally see cameras out on Main Street. You know what I mean? It's not often that people are out recording on Main Street when there's nothing going on. So I think people just kind of look at that as what's the reasoning to it.
Well, all right, and I get that, and I'll give you that. But my question to you then would be, why does everybody's mind go to the negative? Why would you assume? Me personally, if I saw somebody out taking pictures, I would look over at them, see them taking pictures, and carry on my day. I don't even care what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's none of my business. And why would I automatically think there's something nefarious happening?
Right, and like I said, I don't think you're doing anything wrong by videotaping. I don't care. That's fine. I got no problem with it. Okay.
Okay.
It'd be so as far as the law goes, it'd be different if you were say inside the store and recording, and they didn't want you to be inside.
Well, that's private property.
Then right,
Of
then
course.
that's a different thing. But you're here on the sidewalk taking video. That's fine. I got no problem with that. Okay.
Okay.
So, I said I don't have an issue with it. I'll speak with them. I'll explain to them that you guys are in a public setting, that you can record and you can do stuff like that.
Okay.
So, I mean, just avoid if they come out and they start giving you a hard time, call us so we can at least intervene. And we
if you go in there and tell them I'm within my rights and lawfully doing what I'm doing, they're not going to come out and say anything.
Doesn't
to me.
necessarily mean that they'll agree with my explanation.
Well, if they want to go ahead and start an issue, then they can be conducting themselves disorderly or whatever they want to do.
And
right? I don't get into that.
Yeah, and I'd rather you call me if that ends up happening, so that way we can just get this all settled.
And I just want you to know, Officer Belanger, I'd like to end it on a good note with you. I like to leave things positive.
Listen, absolutely. Listen,
let me just tell you.
Anytime you're more than welcome to come into our town. Anytime.
Let me just tell you that what my purpose out here. This is my son.
Yeah, you stated that.
Well, I don't know if Sarge heard that. Right,
Yeah.
Sarge didn't know that.
Yep.
So the purpose of me being out here, is to simply exercise my right to take video and photographs in public.
Well, good.
Okay?
Yep.
Our Constitution's taken a proverbial ass kicking these days, right? And everybody likes to complain about it, but nobody does anything about it.
Right.
So in a very passive way, civil disobedience, whatever you want to call it, I'm out exercising my rights, and it's a shame that people see that as civil disobedience. But a camera's become an evil thing these days for some reason. And I'd like to get rid of that, and I'd also like to run into officers such as yourself. I would appreciate it if you would take the time in your mind to consider this, as I do, a learning experience. Everything that happens in life will make you a better person tomorrow, if you see it that way, right? So maybe you've gotten a couple ideas of how you could have better handled this.
Oh, absolutely.
When you got out of your car.
I got out, and all I wanted to know was, the purpose of your being here. You've already explained it to me now.
But so, what would you have done if I didn't explain it to you? If I just said I don't want to speak to you?
Well, that's fine. You didn't have to speak to me, right?
Well, it seemed like you were not happy with that answer.
Well, no.
I'll say that.
Because I get a call, as an officer, you come here, you say, well, what's the purpose of being out here?
Well, I would, like I was saying to the Sarge, I've been in a lot of situations where people will call up literally. I have a camera, people will call up the police department and say he's threatening people, he's got a gun, he's doing this, he's doing that. Totally not true. Complete BS, made up, fabricated. And then you're driving here 90 miles an hour. Do you know what the leading cause of police officer deaths are in this country?
Well, suicides are number one, but then...
No, traffic accidents are number one. Suicides might be a close number two, which that's a whole nother conversation.
But yeah, anyway, that's...
So I don't need you guys coming in hot, code 3, when there's no reason for it.
And I don't know if you know, I didn't have lights and sirens, I didn't have anything.
No, not here today, but that happens. Because people... So you have to, as well as I do, people love to exaggerate.
Right.
People call up the police and they'll tell you all kinds of tales, and then you get here and none of that's going on.
I'm not going to argue that.
So all I'm saying is the next time you come across a guy with a camera or exercising any other of their constitutional rights, being completely lawful, don't come in hot on them, man.
No.
Just get here and try to uphold the most important thing, even above enforcing the laws of the land, is to honor your oath to our Constitution. That is the law of the land. That's number one. And that's all it's about. And any law that exists that's contrary to the Constitution is unconstitutional. And it just needs to go through a process of law for it to be deemed that, and then that'll be the case one day. But stick to the Constitution, stick to your oath, you swore to it. Are either one of you in the military?
I was not, no.
No, were you?
Myself either, no.
I only asked because I was going to say then you swore 2 oaths.
Right, yeah.
Right?
Right.
So,
but yeah, no, like Jason, like I said, I don't care if you want to record, that's fine. If that's all you're doing is just recording, I got no issues with that.
Okay. But I also, beyond that, I hope this is a learning moment.
Yeah, and
for all of us.
And like I said, me coming here, I didn't really know what was going on, to be honest. I was on another call.
Right.
So I basically came here just to help Officer Belanger, but knowing what's going on, you're not doing anything wrong.
Right.
I got no issues with
Well, like I said, I just hope that, everything, there's always opportunity is everywhere in this world for an education.
Yep.
And I'm out with my son. I'm not looking to educate people exclusively. I'm looking to educate myself, educate my son. We can all learn something from everything that happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the goal. We're trying to be productive.
Yep.
We're not out here looking to cause trouble. We weren't yelling at anybody. I wasn't sticking my cameras in their windows, which I could.
Yeah.
I could walk right up to the glass and stick my camera in the window, and if they want to close the blinds, that's up to them. But we didn't do that.
Yeah, and like I said, I appreciate you being cordial about everything and
say right back at you
and understanding.
Yep. Well, that's why you got the conversation out of me, because you showed up giving respect.
Yep.
I said to Officer Belanger, respect is not given away for free.
Right.
You earn it.
Yep.
So you earn my respect, and I give it back to you.
And I appreciate that.
And you've, coming around, you've earned my respect as well. So I have no hard feelings. Seriously.
Listen, I got a job to do. They just called, said, hey, listen, there's somebody out here with cameras.
You know what? There's a lot of cops. The conversation you and I had, there's a lot of cops that would just pull their handcuffs out.
Yeah, no.
So I never know who, just like you never know who you're dealing with when you show up, I don't know who I'm dealing with either.
Right.
You guys got a lot of hotheads. There's a lot of good policing in this country.
Oh, yeah.
And we support good policing.
Yep.
But then there's also a lot of not so much.
Yeah.
And we love finding those guys and exposing them, but we also like celebrating the successes.
Yep. Yep.
So,
and I appreciate that. And like I said, here in Fort Kent, we do have a good group of officers, and Chief is great. So, you know, I think we're pretty fortunate here. I mean, unfortunately, there are some elsewhere that give a bad name to.
well, nobody will ever say there's any in their department.
What's
Well,
that?
you know what your worst enemy is?
What's that?
I always ask police officers when I speak to them, do you know what your worst enemy is?
No.
A bad cop.
Oh, well, yeah.
Bad cops are out getting good cops hurt and killed and in bad situations and arrested and
Yep.
lawsuits
Oh, absolutely.
all over the country.
Yep,
So
absolutely.
if you see another cop doing something they're not supposed to be doing,
Yeah, you gotta speak
I
up.
don't want you to ruin anybody's life. Take them in the locker room,
Yep.
have a conversation,
Yep.
and put an end to it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It definitely is something that
You know,
needs to be
because,
addressed.
just because there are good cops and bad cops,
Yeah.
if a bad cop does something wrong and the good cop just stands by watching that, he's now joined the member of the bad club crew.
Yeah.
And we don't want to see that
You
happen.
gotta see something, say something.
We want the little kids in this country to respect you guys
Yeah,
and
yeah,
look up to
absolutely.
you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And right now, that's kind of on the fence. And we want to try to. What I'm doing here today also is giving you an opportunity to shine, man. And you've taken that.
Well, I
and
appreciate
so
that.
have you at the end of the day. So I really do. I like leaving things on a positive note.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And I appreciate it.
Yep, and I appreciate you guys as well.
It was nice meeting
And
you guys.
actually,
I'm
like
gonna
I
go
said,
follow up
you know,
with them.
May have started a little steamy, but it ended good. So that's
All's well that ends well, like they say,
absolutely,
right? That's it.
absolutely.
No, and really, you never know. And you know how many times I say to people, this could seem like a very benign conversation that's went nowhere, waste of time, whatever. 6 months, a year down the road, this conversation might spur something in your mind that actually might save somebody from something or might help me out down the road. You never know. So
Yep.
it's all valuable.
Right.
And we appreciate that. So what I'm going to do is,
I'm just gonna take the time to go in. I'll talk.
yeah, I'll let you guys go in there. I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. After you guys leave, we're gonna stick around for a few minutes. I don't want to give them the appearance that I got chased off.
Yeah.
And then we'll take off.
That's fine.
That's it.
And I appreciate that. And again, I appreciate the cordial respect.
Right
between
back
each
at you,
other.
brother. We
So I
appreciate you too.
that.
All right.
It was nice
All
meeting
right, guys.
both of you
Thank you.
Take care, guys.
Take care.
Don't buy anything while you're in there. And now all they did was make a spectacle out of their business. We literally, guys, when we do these downtown things, we walk by, we might hang out in front of a business for 2 minutes and then keep walking.
Alright, so I explained it to him and stuff, and he understands you guys are just videotaping stuff.
Okay.
He said his biggest concern was that they do have medical marijuana users that like their, I guess basically like it to be private because it is a medical thing.
Right.
Which I guess I get that point in a way.
Okay.
Like I said, I have no issues you recording sidewalk and all that stuff, but as far as like sticking your cameras in, as far as for the rights of the people with medical marijuana,
Right.
I guess if we can just respect their rights.
Well, that you're asking me to do it.
Yeah, and
Let me explain to you how that works.
Yeah.
Okay. So, being that it's a medical facility,
Yep.
okay, they may have some HIPAA guidelines
Right.
that they have to deal with.
right,
Okay.
and that's kind of where I'm going with that.
Now, the
yeah.
way HIPAA works is the only people that are bound by HIPAA rules and regulations are people that are trained and certified in HIPAA.
Okay.
Okay, that doesn't apply to me.
Okay.
So what the HIPAA rules and regulations state is that they are obligated to maintain the privacy of their
Right.
patients.
Yeah. Right. Right.
I'm not.
Right. And I
If
guess
they took somebody's private medical information and put it on the window, I could stand there and film it all day.
right.
So just to come back at you with the theory of they're looking for privacy for their patients,
Right.
like I said before, 5 foot by 6 foot glass windows on Main Street.
And
There
I-
is no privacy.
And I get that. I guess that was his reason for calling is, I'm just kind of looking out for my.
Well, they could put blinds on the windows.
Yeah, and I agree
And did you
with
know
that.
in other states, it's maybe not, I guess not in Maine, but in other
You're
states,
supposed to, yeah.
you, like in Colorado,
Yep.
it's unlawful for anybody to be able to see into the dispensary from the sidewalk.
Right. Yeah. Yep. And I'd have to check on that because I'm not 100% sure if that's that way in Maine. But
Yeah, he might have called the police on himself here today.
I almost think that it might be part of that, but I'll have to check into that part. But like I said,
Because, and I just want to show,
Yep.
so my viewers can see too as well. If I want to do this,
Yep.
right in their window and film everybody inside of that store, if I want to be a nice guy and not do that because they asked me not to, of course I can do that.
Yeah.
But when somebody tells me I'm lawfully not allowed to, you didn't say that.
Yeah,
But I'm
yeah.
saying if somebody tells me I'm lawfully allowed to, that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Because my whole point in being out here is to exercise my rights.
Yep. And I don't have a problem with you exercising
That's
your
it.
rights at all.
So-
Jason. So I guess I understand his concern. I guess there was just just went about it in a bad way. It was a miscommunication, I guess.
Well, yeah, he wasn't being very friendly when he came out and asked me
so,
what was going on.
So I guess his point ultimately was that he was concerned about the privacy of the people getting medical marijuana.
Well, but like I said, don't you think it would be smart if that's the case for them to do something about these windows?
Yeah.
It's not about asking people walking down the sidewalk not to look in.
Yeah.
That's
right.
foolish.
Yeah,
and my eyes and the camera's the same thing.
Right. You're allowed to window shop, and you know.
I could put my hands on the glass and stare in the window. I could put my lens on the glass.
Right.
All day long and stay here as long as they're open all day.
Yep.
And there's nothing they could do about it.
Yeah. And like
not that I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. No. I know that, but. Like I said, I guess that's why that was his reasoning for calling us, is because he didn't want to deter his customers from going in, and the medical customers and stuff. So, which I guess I get to an extent, but
well,
but it could have been done
not as a law enforcement. You get that as a human being,
right?
Not as a law enforcement officer.
Right.
Because, like I said, your decision here, which I think you made the right decision here today, but your decision here is whether or not to uphold his feelings or to uphold my rights.
Right.
So that's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
His feelings are what they are, and I think the more, do you have kids?
I don't know.
The more you coddle their feelings, the more sensitive they're going to be.
Right.
Sometimes people just need to be told, pull your pants up, fly right, and if you want privacy, create it.
Right.
We're in public.
Yep.
There is no expectation of privacy in public.
And I don't disagree with that. I'll have to check as far as MAINE law goes for the marijuana dispensary.
Well, I'm going to check now too.
But yeah, so like I said, anyway, I guess that was his reason for calling, but
okay,
just went about it in a bad way, I guess. But
definitely did.
Anyway.
And I'm glad there's a reason you got those stripes on your arm, and I appreciate. No, you know what? There's a lot of sergeants out there that aren't that way.
Yeah.
And they get their guys in trouble, and they get other people in trouble, and it's all a bunch of hurt that doesn't need to happen.
Right.
You know.
And I appreciate that. So anyway, like I said, Jason, you guys are all set.
All right,
nice
brother.
meeting you guys. So.
Sergeant Albert, we appreciate you.
Take care.
You have a wonderful day.
See you guys.
Sergeant Belanger, you have a good day.
See you.
Take care. And do me a favor, honor your oath.
I will.
It's very important. This country's in a bad way, and we need you guys to stand up and do the right thing.
I appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. See you guys.
So like we told the officers, I'm just going to stick around for a minute here, get a little video until they leave, and then we'll be on our way. But it ain't over till it's over, guys. You know how that goes, so stick around. So here goes Sergeant Albert. And here goes Officer Belanger. Got a good education here today. And that's how that goes. Well, all right, guys, we're not going to hang out too long. I don't want to give these people a hard time. Some folks get it, some never will. So they either understand what happened here today, or I can hang out here for the next 6 weeks and they'll never get it. So hopefully we planted a seed of freedom here today, and a seed of liberty, and hopefully it grows into a mighty oak and spreads its seed all over the place here in Fort Kent. I am impressed with the sergeant. He did okay, and Officer Belanger seems like a good guy at the end of the day, just trying to do his job. And I get that these folks aren't used to this kind of stuff up here. It's a very rural area, so even more needed, I feel. So that's it. Never like to leave you guys without reminding you that if you enjoy our videos, you like what we do, and you want to support what we do, best way you could do that, hands down, is to like, share, comment, subscribe. All that stuff gets our videos out to more and more people so that more people can watch them, enjoy them, and hopefully learn a little something. I know I'm out here with the Watchmen getting an education every day, and I wouldn't trade that for the world. Education and information are everywhere. You just have to be receptive, got to keep your ears open, got to keep your eyes open and take it all in, man. Don't ever pass up a chance to learn something. I also invite you to do the same for his channel. Kid's putting in a lot of work in his videos, standing up for your rights and my rights. You'll see maps, information, all kinds of stuff in his videos that you won't see here. So I invite you to check him out as well. I'll leave a link in the description. But that's it. So we're gonna hop in the truck, head down the road, and probably get some dinner. Oh, I'm making tacos tonight. I'm getting a little hungry end of the day, but we'll be back out at it again tomorrow. And always look forward to you stopping by and seeing us again. And the bonus clip I was talking about is coming out now, so stay tuned for that. And nothing left to say. So for now, coming to you from Full Bloom Cannabis in Fort Kent, Maine, watching a Watchman, Amagansett Press. We'll catch you on the next one, guys. Out. All right, guys, so this is the, we're in Fort Kent, Maine, and we are walking across the pedestrian bridge into Canada. This river is the border, and we just had a conversation with one of the officers here, Officer Chassis, and he cleared us to walk across the bridge and not have to go through any of the customs or border nonsense, as long as we don't cross the border, which is up over the crest of the bridge. So I figured I'd take you along. And I'm filming this on my cell phone because I don't have my full setup with me. Hanging out with these two characters. So somewhere on this handrail, it should be marked international border. So we're gonna go find that and make sure we don't cross it. And let me just give you a quick look here. That's Canada. You can see there's some Canadian Border Patrol vehicles. Border Patrol station up here. And we were told by Officer Chassis here on the US side that these guys are going to see us walking over the bridge. And as long as we don't cross the international border, we'll have no issues. If we do, we're going to be dealing with them. Yeah. So there's a sign on the railing here, which I'm sure is it. Closest I've been to Canada since I was 12. I went to Montreal with my father. Pretty cool. So there's the Canadian Border Patrol. Here's a shot of the view from the bridge. And then back here is US Border Patrol. Customs, I should say. And this is the sign you do not want to cross. See you on the next one.